While the United States allocates billions in financial support to Israel, questions arise as to the sustainability of such aid amidst its own economic challenges. Welcome to today's discussion, where we delve into a pressing economic concern, the possibility of the United Kingdom entering a recession. As financial landscapes evolve, it's crucial to examine the factors at play and their potential implications. So join me as we analyze the nuances of this economic narrative and explore its impact on both the UK and the global stage. Now, in this video, we will navigate through the key indicators signaling the UK's economic trajectory, exploring the intricacies of trade, fiscal policies, and external influences. By understanding the context surrounding the potential recession, we aim to shed light on the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. So stay tuned for a comprehensive exploration of the factors shaping the economic landscape and the implications for businesses, individuals, and the broader international community. Check out these videos. I will be right back.
So it's been announced the UK is officially in recession, but what does that actually mean right now? With the last recession we had was in 2008, 2009, and that lasted long. It was painful. It was more of a depression than a recession. Anyhow, right now what they're saying is we are, because the economy has contracted. But what that means moving forward is that because it's not so bad, it's not going to be long-lived. So it'll only last for a short period of time, and it's not going to impact the interest rates. So don't worry about it. It shouldn't scare you. It's being handled. Inflation's around 4%. They're handling it. And interest rates, the predictions are that they're going to come down a lot sooner than they thought. So I reckon April. And we're not really far from April. So if you're thinking about buying or moving, hold on just that little bit longer. Actually, you don't have to hold on. Now's the time to go looking for a house, because obviously when the interest rates come down, the house price is going to go up. And if that happens, then you want to buy something now, take a mortgage, get the mortgage offer, and then just hang in there. And then towards the end, what you can do is you can review the interest rate. That's it, the mortgage offer. Right to the last minute, you can do that. Mortgage brokers, I know you're going to hate me for saying that, but if you've got a mortgage offer now, right until the point of completion, you can change that interest rate. Thank me later.
Members of England, the public of England, the jury of England, have you heard the news? The UK is finally back in recession. Yeah, we're back in recession like we're in school. We're in a recession now. I don't know why they're telling us this now. We knew this years ago. We knew this time ago. Why are they only telling us this now? I'm telling you, the UK is broke. Dust. All the cha-ching money, gone. Fountain all away. Flew away. Fly away. Dust away. Now the UK is broke and in a recession. They're going to be making the prices even up and up and up and up and up. Save your money, because now we're back in a recession. We're broke. We ain't got no money.
So we've finally done it. The UK has slipped into a technical recession after 2 quarters of negative growth. I wonder if Rishi will be smirking about this, how he halved inflation. I mean, oh geez, I don't know about you, but doesn't it feel like we've been in a recession for the last couple of years? This is just kind of like, yeah. Isn't this what we already know?
Is the UK in recession, and what does it mean for you? The UK economy slipped into a recession at the end of 2023, according to official figures. The country's gross domestic product, or GDP, fell by a worse than expected 0.3% between October and December last year. It follows a decline of 0.1% in the previous 3 months. This means that the UK has entered what we call a technical recession, where a country's GDP falls for 2 or more quarters in a row. So what is a recession, and what does it mean for you? A recession is a significant decline in economic activity, and it can last for months or even years, according to Forbes. There are lots of reasons why a recession can happen, from sudden economic shock to too much inflation, excessive debt, to technological change. Typically during a recession, we see unemployment levels rise, pay and benefits often see cuts, and investments like stocks, bonds and property often lose money. But it's important to note that economists have said that the recession is likely to be short-lived, with our GDP predicted to rise at the start of 2024.
Britain is in a recession, officially. It's been in a recession, but now they're accepting it, because the economy has declined for the 6th time in a row. Has contracted by 0.3%. Cases of malnutrition and scurvy are on the rise because people are skipping meals. They cannot afford to both put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, or keep their houses warm, or put clothes on their backs, or pay for the electricity. None of these things. The West is on a decline, and they're imploding fast, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. Everywhere you turn, if it's not economic crisis, it's social crisis, it's weather patterns. wild animals on the attack. And so as colonial powers contemplate a society where they're returning to the sicknesses and diseases of Victorian era, they must wonder, how is this possible in the 21st century? Because again, they built their economies to rely on countries they absolutely believed will be their happy colonies forever and ever. They were wrong. Now they've been cut off cold turkey because we're emancipating ourselves one way or another. What are they going to do now?
Official figures show the UK economy went into a recession in the last 6 months of 2023. A recession is when the economy shrinks or contracts for 2 consecutive 3-month periods. And that's what happened from July to September, October to December. We measure whether the economy grows or shrinks through something called gross domestic product, or GDP. GDP is all the economic activity of you and me, of workers, of governments, of businesses, of companies, of organisations. So how much we spend, how many jobs are created, how much tax we pay, how much the government spends, that kind of stuff. So if we're in a recession, what does that mean for you? It might mean your boss freezes your pay because they can't afford to give you a pay rise. It might mean the place where you work makes people redundant because they can't afford to employ so many people. It might mean you spend less in the shops. It might mean if fewer people are working, the government gets less in tax, so they can't spend as much. The government can use growing GDP, a growing economy, as evidence that it's managing the economy well. And if GDP falls, then opposition politicians will use it as evidence. They will say the government is running the economy badly.
Oh, swear down, we're in a recession. Oh my days. You see, like, you know, if you studied like economics or business or something, like you were always learning about the recession, but like we're actually in one now. You know, don't you guys just find that a bit crazy, man? So like recession is like negative growth, you know? So instead of normal growth, we're even negatively growing, man. We're going down. Like people spending less money. This one you're even asking, babe, can I go on a date? It's like, I know right now, my head's not. You know, if you study like economics or if you study economics, I don't know about business. I think maybe business as well. Yeah, business, of course, yeah. Like the recession, you just hear about the 2008 recession, the COVID recession. Now, 2008, like you might not remember too much, or you might not have been alive. The COVID recession, kind of all indoors, but now we're outside now. And now it's a recession, so now you're like, you need to analyze. Guys, I don't want to hear anyone telling me to buy crypto. Oh, invest in this, invest in that. Hey, calm down. If you think of it as well, I don't know when we go out of the recession. It's been feeling like we've been in a recession since COVID, man. You understand? Nothing's changed. Stay safe, man.
Now, Britain entered a recession as families continue to be battered by the cost of living crisis. The economy shrank 0.3% in the final 3 months of 2023, marking a technical recession with 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. Now, Rishi Sunak claims that he has a plan, but the plan is not working. Although overall last year, the economy grew by 0.1%, that's largely because of high levels of immigration. In fact, new data show average family incomes have now been decreasing for 2 years. The government insists they are still on track. Now, the Office for National Statistics in the UK reports that in the 3 months to December, the economy shrank by 0.3%. That follows a shrinkage of 0.1% from July to August, meaning that UK ended the year in recession. Now, a reminder that the GDP is a way of measuring all of the economic activities, companies, government, individuals in a country. It's quite a blow for the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, given that one of his so-called 5 pledges announced last year was to have the economy growing by end of 2023. He has admitted he's likely to fail to meet that target. Now, the UK Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has been speaking about these figures and says you can't have long-term healthy growth with high inflation. The UK being in recession, what does this mean for you and how is it going to impact your daily life? Basically, it means the UK is in a negative growth rate. Nothing is actually going to happen. It is a time when you actually want to think about making that move to the UAE or somewhere else other than the UK. Now, it might be for the next 2 to 3 years until the UK gets it together, but it might be a decision that you want to make sooner rather than late. Now, if it is something you're considering and it is something you think, okay, I can move my business or I want to speak to somebody and figure out whether or not I can move my business or myself personally remotely outside the UK, become a non-UK taxpayer, still earn that money from the UK tax-free, and then be able to sustain a lifestyle abroad. Now, setting up a business in UAE is not cheap, and it's not cheap to live out here either. So it's really important to note that if you're on, say, a salary which is 30 to 40,000 pounds, it's probably not going to be for you. But if you have a business that has a turnover or an income that is coming in from that business of, say, around 80,000 pounds plus, this may be a very good choice for you with the new corporation tax rules for profits over 50,000, as well as the high income tax and dividend tax rates. Now, there's so many factors that makes one country's economy to enter into recession. Here are 5 contributors that makes UK's economy to enter into recession. Number 1, global slowdown. The global economy weakened in 2023, impacting major economic patterns like Europe and China. Now, this reduced foreign demand for British goods and services, making it difficult for the economy to grow. Number 2, cost of living crisis. Inflation rise due to global energy price increases and the supply chain disruption. Now, this has squeezed households' budget and decreases consumer spending and reduced business investments. Number 3, tiny financial policy. The Bank of England raised interest rates consistently to reduce inflation, making borrowing more expensive for business and consumers. Now, this further slow economic activities. Number 4, political uncertainty. Brexit long-term implication and an eternal political debate created uncertainty for businesses, potential inhabitants, and investment and growth. Number 5, lingering pandemic effect. While most restrictions are lifted, COVID-19 continue to disrupt supply chains and the labor market, posing ongoing challenges for economic recovery. Now, sterling weakened against the dollar and the euro. Investors added to their bets on the Bank of England cutting interest rates this year, and businesses called for more help from the government in a budget plan due on March 6. Thursday's data means Britain joins Japan among the group of 7 advanced economies in a recession. Although it is likely to be short-lived and shallow by historical standards, Canada has yet to report GDP data for the 4th quarter. Britain's economy stands just 1% higher than its level of late 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic struck, with only Germany among G7 countries faring worse. Sunak promised to get the economy growing as one of his key pledges to voters last year. His Conservative Party has dominated British politics for much of the past 7 decades, with a reputation for economic competence. But Labour is now more trusted with the economy, according to opinion polls. British households are due to see their first drop in living standards between one national election and the next since the Second World War, analysts have said. Ruth Gregory, Deputy Chief UK Economist at Capital Economics, said the GDP figures and more political significance than economic, with voters due to elect lawmakers in 2 constituencies on Thursday. The news that the UK slipped into technical recession in 2023 will be a blow for the Prime Minister on a day when he faces the prospect of losing 2 by-elections, Gregory said. Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt said there were signs the British economy is turning a corner and we must stick to the plan, cutting taxes on work and business to build a stronger economy. The opposition Labour Party rejected those claims. Now, the Prime Minister can no longer credibly claim that his plan is working or that he has turned the corner on more than 14 years of economic decline under the Conservatives, Rachel Reeves, Labour's top economy official, said. Media reports said Hunt was seeking to cut billions of pounds from public spending plans to fund pre-election tax cuts in his budget, if penned in by tight finances. What do you, my viewers, have to say about this? Share your comments in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.